Y'all want to know why they hate that we celebrate Black History Month? It's because Black history is a constant reminder that their ancestors were the bad guys. All Black history is us overcoming the obstacles that their ancestors put in front of us. Imagine if they had a White History Month, right? What role would we play in White History Month other than we were the ones to help y'all achieve the things that y'all achieved? There's no part of white history where we would be the ones that held white people back from doing anything. But all Black History Month is white people put all of these barriers in front of black people and we overcame them. We achieved all of this greatness despite being the ones that were being abused and mistreated. And who were doing the abusing and the mistreatment? White people. So they don't like the fact that, us celebrating our history is just a reminder that, dang, they was the bad. Nobody wants to be the bad guy. Everybody wants to be the good guy. So if you was wondering like, dang, why they just won't let us have our own thing? Because that's why. It makes them look bad. Everything about Black history makes white people look bad because of what they did to us. If they would have treated us equally and fairly, it would just be history. It wouldn't be Black history. But we had to achieve our own greatness on our own because of how they treated us.
Yo, one of the reasons why white people get so mad around Black History Month and always saying shit like, well, we don't get a month. We don't get a month to celebrate white history. We don't get a month. You get a month every fucking day. You get a month, you get a day, you get a year, you get every fucking day. That's yours. You get every day. White history is every single day. You guys push it in our face every single day. We just trying to celebrate all the greatness, all the accomplishment, the shit that we've been through as a people. That's it. We're not celebrating slavery. And that's what scares you. Because you think we're celebrating slavery. No, we're not. That's your history. And if you want to celebrate that to show all the people that what you did to us, you can have March. It's open. You can have March and celebrate slavery. But we're not celebrating that. And I think that's the reminder every time you guys hear Black history, the first thing comes to your mind is, oh, slavery, oh, slavery. No, we're not. We're not celebrating slavery. That's not what we're celebrating. That's your history. Celebrate that.
Pardon. Welcome back again to my channel. So guys, I've seen a couple of people non-black, talking about this Black History Month, and they are not happy about it. Like they are not happy that black people are celebrating Black History Month. Some of them are like, why is it only black? Why can't white? I've seen a man say, why can't we celebrate White History Month? I've seen somebody say, if white people start celebrating White History Month, Black Americans will start talking and complaining and target racism. So I'm kind of confused. Like, hello, this Black History Month didn't just start today. That's been there, right? So if you guys really want to celebrate White History Month so bad, then you should. Okay, nobody's telling you not to celebrate your White History Month, but black people are not just, they did not just wake up and say, oh, I want to celebrate Black History Month. Something led to that. Okay, you guys have seen what they've been through. You guys have seen the whole weight on their shoulders. So when you see them celebrating Black History Month, you should not be jealous of it. You should not come and complain. You should not frown at it. Okay, they're celebrating it for a reason. That's not just like kind of Christmas. They're celebrating Black History Month for a reason. So if you guys are not okay with it, if you're not okay with it, okay, because it's not their business, you guys should just start learning to let these people be. Just leave them alone. Okay, let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. All right, I'll come back with more comment comments. Don't go anywhere. Stay with me, family.
Child, y'all already know. It's Black History Month, cousins. All 28 days. Go ahead, buckle up. Yeah, it's day one of Black History Month. And I'm coming with it all month long. Classes in session. Did y'all know that Black History Month didn't start as a celebration? It started as a correction because Black history wasn't being forgotten, baby. It was being erased. Sound familiar? In 1926, historian Carter G. Woodson, we'll talk about him tomorrow, created something called Negro History Week. Not because he wanted to parade, y'all, but because schools were straight up lying. Yet it was. Or saying nothing at all. Nothing about Black contributions to this country. And baby, looks like we're rewinding back where we started. But that's another conversation. Carter G said if they won't teach it, will force the issue. And y'all, February wasn't random, and I know some people ask, why we get the shortest month? But February lined up with the birthdays of Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln, both tied to Black freedom, resistance, and unfinished promises. So let's fast forward. And now Black History Month gets treated like a theme, a bulletin board, a playlist, a sale. And y'all, don't get me wrong, because I love a good bulletin board. Baby, I taught in K-12 schools for 20 years. And the bulletin board and the door decorations was going up every February. But Black history was never meant to be contained in 28 days. It was meant to expose what this country refuses to reckon with. And baby, let's be honest. The fact that we're still arguing about teaching Black history in this country tells you the work was never finished. So when folks ask, why do we still need Black History Month? Hell, I've had several people ask why I sign off each post with Happy Black History 365. Baby, it's not a slogan. It's a reminder, because the erasure never stopped. Baby, look what's going on in this country right now. Child, Black history isn't seasonal. Black history is American history. And baby, my ancestors built this place with their blood, their labor, and their bodies. And I will never forget the cost of their sacrifice. Ever. As long as you follow me, there will never be a day I don't uplift their memory. Ever. Black History Month was not created to celebrate people. It was created to correct lives. And I need us to remember that. All right, good people. Drink your water. Stay rooted, real, and knowledgeable. And mind your Black business. Happy Black History 365. And I'll see you next time.
You know something I never understood? How does talking about American history mean you got a victim mentality? And I really need an answer from white people, because that's something I never understood. And I understood a lot of things. I understand a lot of things, but that's something I don't understand. In high school, we're learning about the Holocaust. We're learning about the horrific, grueling ordeal of a young Jewish girl going through the Holocaust and how she felt. I mean, when we get to the part, when we start talking about slaves getting skinned and people wearing them like masks, we're too deep into history. We can learn about all the concentration camps and the people being burnt alive and the people being filleted and everything else. But when we talk about men buck breaking other men in front of their families and all these other things, then we're too deep into history. Let's not talk about this. Then we're talking about bombs being dropped on neighborhoods, people being lynched following slavery on Sunday afternoons in front of other little children, and families having a picnic while they watch Black people hang from trees. And we have a victim mentality from that? As a Black man, I make about 6 figures, and that's not even including the rent that I'm making for my property. On top of that, what I'm making for social media. I have a beautiful wife and 4 children, and a wife that does not have to set a foot inside of a job if she does not want to. And I'm happy about this. But I would never have none of these things if I did not know about Black history. Black history does not give you a victim mentality. Black history empowers you so you know that there were more people other than slaves. Because somehow we go from slavery to, now you're free and you're just not doing anything. But not talking about the innovation, not talking about the hard work, not talking about the cities that were burned down and bombed and destroyed and implemented full government agencies to go in here and destroy these neighborhoods. We didn't talk about that. So what bothers white people so much when they hear history, and American history? Because it's not just Black history. Black history is history.
I don't get it either, because they'll always say like, well, why is there no White History Month? Because you didn't make one! Black History Month became officially recognized in 1976. Do you think that Black people right after the end of the Civil Rights Movement had the power to make a nationally recognized holiday, let alone month-long observance? No! That was white people! Black people came up with the concept and pushed for it. The original concept being Negro History Week and being put in February because that's when the Emancipation Proclamation was signed and when Frederick Douglass's birthday is. Eventually it got widespread and became Black History Month, the official decision of which to make a national observance rested in the hands of white people. President Ford was the one who officially recognized it as a national observance. A white man. He said he wanted Americans to, and I quote, seize the opportunity to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in every area of endeavor throughout our history. A white Republican man said that in 1976. I cannot imagine a white Republican, specifically a white Republican in a position of power, saying that in 2023. The fact that some people have, in terms of opinion, regressed since then, again, mind you, this is right after the civil rights movement. And not only people have regressed, but some people were alive back then and simply held the opposite opinion and have continued to unwaveringly hold that opposite opinion for the past 50 years, for half a century. That's wild to me. How are you less progressive than the Republican president in 1976? And what's more, why are you upset with me that your people didn't give you a month? Why are you mad at me for playing with a toy that your parents got me for my birthday because my parents weren't able to? Take that up with them. That has nothing to do with me. I don't care. I already got the toy. If you're mad because you want one, talk to your parents. And if you're mad because you don't want me to have one, I already got it. Talk to your parents. Also, maybe sit down and think about why you don't want me to have one specifically when other neighborhood kids are playing with the exact same thing. You didn't get a toy because your parents didn't get you a toy. That is not my fault, so why do I have to hear about it? Just let me enjoy mine.
I'm starting a new series today for Black History Month called 28 Days of Stories We Were Never Taught. I'm doing this for a couple of reasons. Number one, I am the mother of biracial children, and it is to my great shame that I must admit, although I thought I was a pretty enlightened person my whole life, there is so much that I did not know. There is so much that I was blind to. And it is not the job of my people of color in this country to teach me their history. It's my job to search it out and learn the truth. And I've been doing that, and I have been blown away. There are so many names of people that did things that I had no idea about. I'm also doing this because we know our world's crumbling, and I want to rebuild something better. I want to rebuild something better for my children and for yours. And we cannot do that unless we acknowledge the truth of how things have always been. Our history has been whitewashed, and I knew that, but I didn't know how badly until I started studying on my own. So if you're interested in learning the truth, join me on this series. And this is also an open invitation. If I get something wrong, please correct me. Anything that I get wrong here is due to a lack of education. And I'm trying to read about these stories, but I may mess something up. So please know that the floor is open. If I miss something or I got something wrong or misinterpreted it, I want to learn. And we can learn together. So let's do this. Let's honor those people who came before us by learning about who they really were and what they went through. Let's do it for our friends and neighbors and for our children and our grandchildren. Go love your neighbor.
Federal agencies will not be allowed to acknowledge, recognize, or celebrate Black History Month. Black History Month is canceled under Trump. CIA employees were told all resource and affinity groups are canceled. No Black History Month or MLK celebration or any other ethnic recognition months. DEI folks are to be fired rather than allowed to rotate to former offices. CIA is also apparently banning lanyards that have to do with affinity groups. Women's councils how to take down their website and cancel all event, including Women's History Month. They are also compiling a list of members within affinity groups. It's almost as if they're trying to rewind the time to 1940. This is crazy. This is very crazy.
What the hell we gonna do now?
It is officially Black History Month, y'all, so my people and allies, y'all gonna love this one. And haters, this one's for you. I know people are bothered that we have a whole month to ourselves, so y'all don't believe in us but give a holiday to Santa and his elves. Upset when black people do better, think you must be going blind. Maybe you'd be up there too if you had that Harriet Tubman kind of grind. See all the parades and celebrations and it makes your heart ache. It's probably hard watching everyone dancing when your booty don't shake. Look down on the black boy or girl that your child might bring. Don't go looking at me. Take it up with Martin Luther King. Why is there no month for white people? Everyone will always say, oh bye, y'all celebrate yourselves dang near every day. Getting rid of the whole month is something that people demand. Still it's here to this day because we know exactly how to take a stand. But on a serious note, I know our people will never fall. So all I've got to say is, happy Black History Month, y'all.
TikTok suppressing Black creators during Black History Month does feel racist to me. Mind you, TikTok has already been suppressing creators before Black History Month, but the fact that Now it's Black History Month and TikTok is still censoring Black creators. Yeah, that does indeed feel racist to me. Quite literally, I posted a video saying Happy Black History Month, and that video was basically censored on my account. That directly feels like racism. It does. And it's not to say that they're not suppressing, Black creators when it's not Black History Month, because they do that as well. But like just during the time of Black History Month specifically feels very, very racist. Feels a little extra racist than it usually does when, Black creators are being censored or suppressed on this app just basically for being Black. Yeah. Feels a little different when it's Black History Month and Black creators are being suppressed during Black History Month. Kind of feels like a little slap in the face. And it does feel extremely racist. And the thing is, I don't even know if there are real people who work for TikTok, because I feel like anytime someone has an issue with TikTok, you talk to a robot. Like anytime there's an issue, there's not actually a person to complain to, because I don't think they want there to be people for creators to go to in order to complain about the mistreatment that they've been experiencing on this app. They literally make it so that you can only talk to a robot. So that's also an issue. But back to my first point, I do think that it is racist for Black creators to be suppressed on TikTok during Black History Month. I absolutely do. And it's actually fucking diabolical.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you
We don't care.
Jerry.
A few years back, I was getting ready for work, and they were having a Black History Month celebration party at my job, which is really cool. I thought that was actually an amazing idea. I was super excited. I was going to get my African hat, my dashiki. I was going to go in there singing Shalom, my brother. I was going to get excited. I was one of the few Black people that worked at the job besides the manager and itself and about 4 other Black people. So I was actually really cool with one of the Black guys. So I go to his house and we start talking about it. And he says, I don't really like Black History Month. And I said, huh? Usually I'd expect to hear this from somebody that, was, racially motivated. This guy was a Black guy like me. And I said, why don't you like Black History Month? He said, we get a month. I said, okay. He said, we get a month. That's worthless. I said, what do you mean? He said, they have gaslit you into believing that this 1 month is sufficient. And I said, well, then I started to think, because it's very rare when somebody just makes me sit back and question my own beliefs. It's very rare, because usually I'm pretty stoic and I'm pretty selfish and stubborn, but he genuinely, that one sentence messed me up. He said, you are satisfied with the shortest month. It should be Black History, not month, not year. It should just be we regularly celebrate Black history. The same way that on the dollar bill is George Washington. That's white history. We don't have any monetary money. They showed they can change that too. They changed the $100 bill. They changed that. They got rid of the $2 bill. That's no longer a thing. So they can make new money and get it circulated really fast. And it happens really fast. Give us Black history, period. I want Black history to be respected and represented. And I said, oh, well, we got the month. And I said, the month doesn't matter. Well, he said, the month doesn't matter. What matters, in essence, to me, is Black history being respected forever and always. If you give us 1 month, it doesn't really matter. We're like a holiday. It's unimportant. They only have to care about us for 28 days, February, sometimes 29 because of a leap year. That's disrespectful. We got the shortest month because they can't stand even tolerating us for more than 28 days. We don't even get the grace of 30. It's disgusting. And then he said something really funny. He said, because when we hit 30, we look beautiful. But when they hit 30, they look bad. And ever since that day, I've felt really strange about Black History Month. Ever since then.
Good morning. Happy Sunday. I just had a few quick thoughts. I just wanted to kind of get off my chest on this Sunday because in the spirit of continuity and consistency, I just want to make sure people understand where I'm coming from when it comes to dealing with the day-to-day and the turmoil that is the U.S. political arena in its current state. And I mean this, and I don't want to be hyperbolic, so understand when I say I hate you from the bottom of my heart. if you contributed in any way to the current state of this country. I hate you if you voted for him. I hate you if you dissuaded people from not voting for her in 2024 and in 2016. Because let's keep it very clear. This goes back a decade, right? I hate the people that thought voting for the black lady was so terrible for their pet project 7,000 miles away on an issue they only learned about 2.5 years ago, that was so strong that it dissuaded you from not giving a shit about the rest of us here in this country. I hate the people that voted for him and then got a clue after. The damage is done, babe. I hate you particularly the worst because you had all the facts and you still chose. But until your life got inconvenienced, that's when you got a clue. Oh, I hate you. Real bad. Because at some point in this country, people are going to realize that black people have been the most consistently correct when it comes to how historical events will play out if we do not do the right thing. Whatever stat you want to measure it by, black people in particular have been the most correct and will continue to be the most correct when it comes to U.S. politics because black people have a unique relationship with this country. For the past 400 years, this country literally has not wanted us to be here, and yet we've persevered against all the odds. A country that literally wrote into their constitution that black people were 60% of a full human being. So the worst thing you can do in politics is not listen to black people. Go back in history and look over the past 60 years when black people actually got a chance to vote, how consistently correct we've been and who we voted for. Yeah, I know. And don't get me wrong, there are white people that understand that black people make sense. They just steal those ideas, regurgitate them out of their mouths, and then quote Malcolm X when they don't really like what black people are talking about. But that's neither here nor there. So what I'm saying is, this country will not get better until white people start listening to black people en masse. I'm not talking about any other group but white people. Children of the chalk, the Mayo Sapiens, the hueless, the pales, the 8.5 by 11s, whatever nickname you need to call them, they are the people that have to change how they view this country en masse in order for substantial change to happen. You can blame every marginalized group in the world, but until white people get a clue, we are going to continue to see this country spiral even farther than it is currently. Because if you didn't think the U.S. government would do this to its own American citizens, talk to black and brown people, talk to indigenous people. This country is quite literally raised and birthed on the destruction you're currently seeing in 2026. And until y'all get that in your minds, we are going to stay in this holding pattern of chaos. Happy Black History Month. You guys have a good one.
Happy Black History Month. Your favorite creator is here to tell you that you cannot be black and homophobic. It does not make any motherfucking sense. If you're going to be so pro-black and you're going to be so anti-racism, being homophobic fits nowhere into that. You want to know why? Because what is racism? The discrimination against black people. What is homophobia? The discrimination against people who are gay. Okay, being black is something that you cannot control. Can you also control the fact that you are attracted to or you're attracted to? No, you can't control that as well. So when you are homophobic, you are discriminating against people for something that they cannot control, which is the exact same thing that racism is, which is the exact reason why your ancestors were put on that boat and forced to pick cotton out of the ground for hundreds of years, which is the same reason why people were lynched for the color of their skin. Being discriminated for something that you cannot control is disgusting. Having a hatred towards gay people because you feel that how they are isn't normal when you're not even gay, so you don't know what the fuck it feels like, number one. Number two, all it is an attraction. All it is like wanting to love another human. You demonize that. You discriminate these people. You harm these people. You talk down on them. You snatch their rights. You advocate and you vote against because you are a disgusting, evil human being. Happy Black History Month, my love. That's how you clear a nigga.
Child, when I tell y'all, every time it's a black holiday, it's always some type of that black diaspora war. It is so annoying, y'all. Like, I thought that this is Black History Month. We supposed to be celebrating black history in America. We're supposed to be up there supporting black-owned businesses, just like my headline, shopfruitcups.com. But I get on Threads and I get on Twitter, and it's a whole black diaspora war going on, like between black people. When I tell y'all, I looked on Threads and I'm seeing Caribbean people mad at black Americans. Not all Caribbean, I'm just saying what I see on Threads. Basically saying that, you know, their people should be celebrated because their people have done things in America. Then I'm seeing black Americans feeling like, you know, black American culture is not being celebrated, and people are not really trying to celebrate what black Americans have done for this country. It's just so much stuff going back and forth, y'all. My thing is, Black History Month is for everybody, right? It's for every single race, every single ethnicity. It's honestly for people across the world to understand what black Americans have done and enslaved black Americans have done in this country and how they have built this country and what the causes that they have had that has affected everybody. Like, people should be celebrating worldwide, because when we look at Martin Luther King and then we look at the civil rights movement and the impacts that the civil rights movement has had on this country to this very day, people are using the same techniques, everything that they have done for the civil rights during the civil rights movement when it comes to protests, for protests now. Like, when you look at immigrants and the protest right now was what's going on with ICE. When you look at the LGBT community, when they was protesting a couple of years ago, they have all used the same thing that people have used during the civil rights movement, right? When you look at, even you go farther in history, like we have had Asian Americans who have had protests as well. We have had people on the workforce who have, in these blue collar factories, who have also had protests as well. A lot of these people have used the civil rights movement methods in terms of protesting, right? So feminism too, even feminism and woman empowerment and all that stuff, people have looked at the civil rights movement. So that's why people need to look and support Black American history, because it has affected everybody, not just Black Americans, but also immigrants, white people, everybody. You know what I mean? Everybody. So that's all I gotta say. Like, we need to stop letting people divide us, because I just feel like it's too much division going on. Makes no sense.
You know, it's 2026 and I'm confused. How are people still upset about Black History Month? Because make it make sense. 13% of a country, one country, right, is celebrating their own history. The same history that 13% provides 80% of the culture for the world. Slang, clothes, music, appeal, look, everything. And you don't want them celebrating the same culture that is constantly stolen every day. If they don't celebrate it, how they gonna make more? For y'all to steal. I don't understand. How are we still mad about Black History Month while actively stealing the contributions that were made yesterday? It don't make no sense.
Alright guys, thank you so much for watching my video. If you find it very interesting, please make sure to like it. Support the channel by subscribing to the channel, okay? And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye and stay safe. Happy Black History Month.